Hey Marie, I'm so glad you got this essay. Well done. Now, did you do your planning? Do you remember we had that planning document? Because I really need you on all these essays to plan super carefully. Okay? I'm just going to show you, remember what it looked like. It was like this. So that's not your notes, that's someone else's notes. But this makes sure you answer the right question. Because when we get onto yours, immediately, okay, you're starting here. I strongly agree with the statement that parents are responsible for teaching their children to behave. Now, that's kind of only half the statement though. So you need to be careful here. And then you go into behaviour starts from the moment they're born. Okay, and then you add in here, looking at this has been said from another perspective. It is schools that should play a role. So it's a little bit confusing. Just start simply by paraphrasing this. So paraphrasing this, you could say some parenting experts think parents are parenting experts. Parents are the best, or remember the only, or should be the only people in charge of teaching their children how to behave. However, other experts believe that government and schools should have the most responsibility. So paraphrase this. Don't get too much into your arguments yet. Then go, I strongly agree with one or the other. So paraphrase first. If we write in here, I can't even spell. And then opinion. It is really important that your writing is tight. You write a little bit like you speak, so you chat beautifully, but this is too chatty. It needs to be a lot more precise. IELTS is really, really precise. You need to write less and you need to write really precisely. Okay, so you're going in here, behaviour starts from the minute a child's born, and from that point on it's the parent's responsibility to be a role model. That is a really lovely sentence, and I think you should start this paragraph with this sentence. Okay, I think that should be the topic sentence for your first body paragraph. Okay, you could even put in front of it, it has been widely agreed that. Okay, that's a really nice way to start an IELTS sentence or paragraph, and that is your topic sentence. Okay, behaviour starts the minute a child's born. From that point on, it's the parent's responsibility. Absolutely great. The basic roles are thought by the parents. Thought maybe understood by the parents, which the children will need to show in school. Okay, fine. Now, careful here because you've moved topics. So anything to do with teachers should be in the second paragraph. So we're going to go, parents are best in the first paragraph. This is why your planning is really important. Okay. Let's get that. And obviously that should be a capital. But the first paragraph, parents are the, and watch out for that key word in the question, only, Okay. So if I keep flashing you back up to the question, parents are the only people responsible, or they should have the most responsibility. Okay. Okay. And then the second one, however, so here, however, schools do have a role to play. So everything to do with schools, like teachers, this, I want you to put into this paragraph. So all this stuff, teachers, yep, lovely, okay, great. Get that into this paragraph here. Okay, so I want that into the, sorry, it's going to move it. Hang on, that's going to come down here. So teachers have a role. Okay, then, okay, so this is why the planning is so important. So then back in this paragraph up here, this bit here where you're kind of talking about children aren't bad till a certain age. Okay, that's not really what the essay is about. Everything depends how they handle them. Okay, that is quite interesting. So this bit, so behaviour today includes many aspects such as, or many aspects such as manners, politeness, and respect. It's always quite good to have 3 things here. It kind of looks nice in terms of the, It looks kind of nice in terms of the grammar, respect, and everything depends we depend on something. How parents handle situations and how they act in front of other people when the children are around. Okay, so that is so that the children can learn good manners. Absolutely, okay, nice paragraph. So, for example, recent reports have suggested that children learn fast from their parents when the parents are reliable role models. Something like that. You could put research from a certain newspaper or whatever. We'll talk about how to add examples. But that paragraph is fine. Then you're going to have this second paragraph here, schools have a role to play. So that is the topic sentence, the most important sentence for that paragraph. Now you're addressing the second half of the essay. Others think it's schools and government. Okay, you're putting in teachers need to know how to handle different age groups. Now, I don't want your opinion. Remember, with no opinion until the conclusion. Teachers should teach their students as grown-ups. If this is the case, that pupils will be more likely, really nice. It will lead, good, to advantage for their future. And, nice long sentence. And you don't need to repeat that, so that can go. Help the teenagers to develop their self and play a bigger role. Okay, as the first 12 years going to school. Key for teachers to teach them. Okay, really nice. That's a super paragraph. Well done. You don't need to get it all in the future all the time. So just, it can be the present, it can be the past, it can be present perfect, mix up the tenses. But no opinion in here. Now, conclusion. So I want the conclusion now. So essentially, this is irrelevant. You're not, if you read it through again, it's not answering the question. Okay? Oh, hang on, it is partly your conclusion, but this wasn't your conclusion. This was your third paragraph. So I would take out that. That is definitely irrelevant. I'd make this into your conclusion. So in conclusion. Now, I'm convinced, not confined, convinced that parents should set the ground rules. However, but teachers need to work alongside parents to achieve good results. Good. Okay, stop there. Okay? And then you don't need any further section on government because you've done the job there. So please, please, please go through this really carefully. It's important to me because you do have issues with organisation and planning. You're getting there. This is much better. But you look, what I've had to do, I've had to restructure the whole thing. Okay? Intro, paraphrase. Okay? First point, that's that. Second point, that's that. Conclusion and your opinion. So please do the planning first. But otherwise, you've got some good stuff in here. You really have. Okay, let's look at the graph. Okay, so on this one, what we need to do is, again, organise it. So I've put in another student's essay in here. Okay, so you can see what's going on. This is how you should do it. In the same way this morning, we were looking at process diagrams and 4 sections. Again, 4 sections. First bit, the chart gives information of, okay, age distribution in Asia. Fine. You can paraphrase that sometimes if you can see, obviously, the title and what to do. Overall, we have to have this. Give an overview. The highest section or the highest proportion of people in Asia in 2014 were aged between 25 and 54, whereas the lowest section were citizens above 65. Don't give the percentages. Just give a general overview, highest, lowest, no numbers. Okay? Now start with a detail. It can be seen that. Now you can talk about the biggest sections. If you can group those 3 together. Okay? And then what this person's done is that they've reported the section, then they've put some detail. These 2 groups complete more than half the chart. So it can be said that most popular information their working age. Okay, you don't actually need this because it's a bit of a personal comment. But, okay, what they've done is just made that connection between the groups. Okay. Then next one, the other half of the population. So you could have here, in contrast, okay, there are two. So imagine if I'd grouped, so they've grouped that one and that one. So let's group these ones. Okay. Okay, the proportion of the population aged 55 to, you can't talk about colours, doesn't work. And 0 to 14 are similar, with only a small percentage between them, and both are around, we don't have to get the exact numbers, but a little bit of detail, around 18%, something like that. But so we're grouping these, and then the percentage of the least is between, yeah, so that's absolutely fine. So you're giving detail like that. So the most important thing, we don't need to worry too much about the clever stuff at the moment, but the most important thing is that structure, which has to be very, very clear. So when you've got, there was an age distribution, I mean, yeah, obviously, you'd have to have these diverse, or these are diverse, or these vary. Okay, the biggest percentage in the colour. Forget the colours. So we definitely don't talk about colours, but you could give, it's this proportion. Yes, good. Above 65 was the smallest. Okay, forget the colours again. This gives them in, there are a lot of newborns. Well, yes, I mean, that's interesting, but I wouldn't go there because you're not really asked to comment on that. So that's your speculation. I mean, it's very interesting, but that's not what's on the picture. Also potential, which means very close. Yep, okay, blue, so forget the colour. Half the size of, yes, but that's great, but forget the colours. But give me the statistics, give me who those people are, which groups, that'd be great. And then it's clear that there are 4 groups. Okay, so that would have to be your overall sentence, I suppose. In that case, it would go here, overall. Okay. 4 groups, and yeah, don't talk about colours, it's just really confusing, and actually in total there are 5. Okay, so remember when we do that planning, we look at the time, so we should really go in the past tense actually on this one. So we look at the time, we look at the sections, we have to talk about each section, we look at any highs and lows. It's not that exciting really. So the organisation again on this one as well, most important thing that you could work on. Okay, well done.